Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ServiceNow 911. Today we are discussing a special series which is of domain separation. It is a long pending thing which I want to share with you, but today I got a chance, so let's start with it. So before we move further, let me show you these courses which I have created for you. And these courses are related to CMDB and discovery, and both languages are there, Hindi and English. Okay. I have created these courses for all people who are looking for ultimate material on CMDB and discovery. We are covering almost all the topics of CMDB and discovery, starting from IRE rules and all type of discovery, horizontal, vertical, service mapping. Each and everything is covered here. So you can see the reviews from people. It's already 3 to 4 days, and I'm getting reviews. And these reviews are 5 very good reviews. People are happy. So you can also go and check these courses. Okay. The first 2 videos are available free of cost. In the very first video, I am explaining the complete syllabus. And in the second video, which is CMDB overview, you can have the overview of complete CMDB. So from that also, you can take up the decision whether you want to purchase this course or not. The discount coupon for these courses is available in the description. So now let's move to the course. Let me share one PPT with you. So first of all, we start with what is a domain separation. Okay. So when we say separation, it means keeping away one thing from another. Why we are keeping things away from each other or away from someone? The very first reason, for security reason, they are not authorized to see it. Or secondly, complexity, to reduce the complexity. Third, necessity. If that thing is not for you, why should I show it to you, right? So all these three basic reasons support domain separation. We are separating the domains within a single organization. So what is domain separation? It is a process to separate data, process and administration tasks into logically defined domains. It is also known as multi-tenancy. So basically we have an organization. That organization has multiple departments, or there may be other categories within that organizations. But due to all three factors which I mentioned, mostly the security factor, okay, due to the security factor, one domain do not want to share the data from another domain or another department. So in that case, ServiceNow provides an opportunity known as domain separation. ServiceNow tells the customer, okay, you want this separation, so we have this option known as domain separation. You can have separate domains and you need not to bother about each other's data, processes and any kind of administrative task. So look at this diagram. This complete box is an organization, for example, and under this we have two domains, domain A and domain B. Both of the domains are separate from each other. Okay, they have everything separate. Nothing is common in between these. But we have one more domain known as a global domain. So now you will ask, is having a global domain mandatory? Yes, it is mandatory, because although the departments want to separate their data and all, but there are certain common functionalities for sure for any company, right? For example, if you want to apply for a leave, why should you have a separate leave portal for these two domains, right? So such kind of common things will be under global domain. Apart from this, there are certain platform level things which are used in global domain, which are there in global domain. For example, like security aspects, login rules, these all things are very platform dependent thing, right? So ServiceNow will provide these things to each and every domain as well. So that's why we have this global domain and it is mandatory. So now let's move to the second slide. Here you see why to use domain separation. Again, we already discussed, but these are the bullet points. So the first point is, if you need to have a data segregation between different business entities. So this is the most important driving reason, because we want to separate the data between different business entities. Let's say in a company there are two verticals. These two verticals are totally different and they do not want to share the data. So that's it. We want to have domain separation there. Okay. Second point, if you need to customize business process definition and user interface for each domain. So obviously when we have a separate data, separate domains, we have to define separate things. We have to define separate processes for these domains. Third point, if you need to maintain some global processes, global reporting in a single instance. So this is again based on the business plan. In order to reduce the complexity, you want your data to be separated, you want your business data to be separated, but Again, you want certain things which should be common, so you have to follow that architecture, and domain separation is best for that. Fourth point, if it is required to have a separate data between service providers, customers, partners, and sub-organization. So in case of ServiceNow also, there are n number of partners, there are n number of service providers, there are n number of customers. In order to maintain all these entities under a single instance, you can use domain separation. This is the best use case for any domain separate environment. In case of ServiceNow support, that is high portal, you can see you have the credentials like you. There are other customers also which are managed under a single instance only. Last point is if you have minor or moderate process difference among the customers. So here ServiceNow is hinting that we are not authorizing or we do not recommend highly customizable domains. If you have minor or moderate process differences, then you can use it. Okay. So now let's discuss the pros and cons of domain separation. The pros is obviously it is cost efficient because we are managing everything under a single instance. Okay. As well as we need less time to upgrade because each domain has its own responsibility. That's why the complexity is not there. That's why the managed thing are there. That's why we need less time to upgrade. Then we have the centralized administration. Obviously the global domain is the centralized administration here. The system admin will have full control on the domain. Then we have the data segregation. This is the main goal of this domain separation. Next we have the cons. It has an impact on global customization. The global customizations are now very less because if we want to have a common ground, if we want to have some common things in place, we need to take approvals, we need to do all kind of compliance and everything with respect to both the domains. That's why having large or many customizations in global domain is not recommended. Next is domain separation is not suited for complex business processes. As I mentioned earlier, if you are thinking that you can separate your domain and you can have a very huge customizations, that is not recommended at all. In this case, the system will not behave the way it should behave. Okay, so you have to have limited customization and use out of box processes just to separate the data. Then we have the clean separation. Yes, when we say domain A and domain B are different, it means there is no integration between these two domains. You cannot see the data, you cannot see the processes at all. There is no a common bridge between these two. Okay, so in this case you have to take care in future if you have any such thing, then you have to find out some new measures to do integration between these two domains. And last one is it is not suitable for every customer. So this is also right. You have to do a complete due diligence before opting for domain separation. You must have your objective clear. Okay, I want domain separation with this. Okay, you should consult ServiceNow based on your business objectives, based on your business goals, what you want to achieve by using domain separation. The ServiceNow will be happy to guide you whether it is recommended for you or not. So these are the few advantages and disadvantages of domain separation. Then we have how to install domain separation plugin. So obviously this is a separate plugin and it is chargeable, but in demo instance we can use it free of cost. So this is a simple plugin. Okay, com.glide.domain msp extension.installer. So you can go to your developer account, from there you can install domain separation. When you are installing it in the demo instance, make sure you activate it with demo data, because once you have the demo data it will be easy for you to understand the process. So I'm stopping this video here. I hope you understand the basic meaning of domain separation. In next video we will go in deep, we will install the plugin and we will do some practical. Okay, so till now understand what is domain separation and install the plugin. I will see you in next video. Till then, thank you so much. Bye bye.
In part 1 we have completed till here. So this is the plugin which you have to install in order to activate the complete domain separation along with the demo data. Okay, so I already installed it in my instance. I hope you did it in your instance. Now let's move forward. As soon as we install the plugin, we have the demo data something like this. Okay, so domains are configured in a hierarchy to structure how data and processes are managed in the environment. So company is the same and we are dividing it into various domain based on the needs, based on the configurations. Okay, and these domains are on hierarchy basis. It means the parent-child relationship is there. You can have more than one child for a parent, and there can be, further top down or top level approaches, which we can see here. In this example, you see this is top, and this topmost parent is parent of all these here. And again, it is also the grandparent of this one. Okay. So something like this, the parent-child relationship is going in various levels. And the main thing is members of a domain see only the data contained within their domain or the child domains that are lower in the domain hierarchy. It means whoever is the parent will be able to see their data as well as the data in the lower domain of that particular parent. It means it can see their data or the child data. It cannot see the adjacent data. It cannot see the top level data, but only the data which is below them or their own data. So if we talk about MSP, any user who is a part of MSP will be able to see the data of MSP technician as well as their own data. It cannot see the data to any of the adjacent child or any of the child of these, parents. So let's come here. Let me refresh this. Some points are there. Top is the parent domain for ACME, Intac, Oceanic, Cisco, Default, and MSP domain. Yes, top is the parent of all these domains. ACME, Intac, Ocean, and all these are the child domains of a top. Yes, we can say vice versa. Top is parent of all these, or all these are the child of top. User in ACME domain cannot see data in the Intac, Ocean, Cisco, Default, or MSP domain. Any user who is a part of MSP will not see the data of any other domain which is at the same level of them. So that we already know, we discussed all this, that MSP will not be able to see any of the data apart from their data and MSP technician data. Then next point is MSP is the parent domain of MSP technician. Yes, it is seen here. MSP technician is child of this. Yes. User in MSP domain can see the data in the MSP technician. So we know that, right? So we can say that members of a domain see only the data contained within their domain or the child domains that are lower in the domain hierarchy. So that's we already discussed. MSP will be able to see their data or their child, only their child, not others' child. Okay, remember that. So now this is the same thing which we have discussed here. Now let's move to how to create a domain. So very simple. As soon as we install the plugin, we have the complete domain application available. So now let me move to my instance. And you see, as soon as I opted for domain separation plugin, I am able to see the domain here. This is the domain. Right now I'm in global domain. So global domain here, you can say a top domain or the primary domain, okay, which is available for all. So now if we come here, we can see the domain separation application. So write down domains here. So here you see under domain admin, everything is available. So click on domains. It will redirect you to the table. Okay, so this is the domain table. If you want to create a new domain, you can click new here. Okay, and then provide the value of all these fields. Some important fields are there. Let me open one of the domain. So you see this is ACME domain. This is the name of the domain and it is type of customer and its parent is top. Okay. And it is active. You know what is active? Now these are the important things. So primary means the domain which is at top level. This domain will not have any parent, but it will have child. Okay. So here if we come in our PPT, let me move up. So here the primary one is top. Okay. This is the top domain. This is the primary domain. And the primary domain is only one domain. You cannot have more than one primary domain. It is only having childs, multiple childs, but no parent. So this is the meaning of primary. Okay. Now let's come to default. So it is saying that tasks and users with no domain are placed in this domain versus global domain. So what is the meaning of this? So when domain separation introduced, what was happening? The data which was having no domain is going to global domain. But again, this is a security issue because when it placed in the global domain, it is visible to each and every domain. The admins now have no control on that data. Everyone can see it. So that's why ServiceNow brought up this concept of default domain. So you can make a particular domain as a default domain, okay, and place the data which is not a part of any domain there. And later, the admin can make certain uses of such data, or they can change the domain of such data as well. The main thing is now the admin has complete control, okay. Again, here there is only one default domain, okay. So you can fill up all these things and then create your domain. So I hope this is clear now. So now let me show you certain examples how domain separation is actually achieved here. So now, right now I'm in global domain. Let me open one incident form. In this particular incident form, I have the domain also here. So this very first incident is a part of this particular domain, not a global domain. So let me open this. Right now I'm in global domain. You can see I'm in top domain. That's why I'm able to see this data, which is a part of some other domain, and this other domain, which is 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢, is a child of the top, right? The global. So right now I'm able to see this data. Just do one thing. Let me open one more which belongs to global. So 10001 is from 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢 domain, and 9009 is from global domain. Okay. So now let me see both of these incident when we move to some other domain. Let's switch the domain to MSP technician. Okay. Now let me reload this one because this belongs to 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢 domain. You see the data is not available. I am not able to see because I am in some different domain. That domain is not related to this particular domain. That's why I'm not able to see it. If I reload this, remember this is a part of global domain, right? This incident is created in global domain. Let me reload. Yes, I am able to see it. Okay. I am able to see this particular data, see this particular incident because it is a part of global domain. Okay, so I think this is clear. Now let me make some changes here. Okay, now let me configure this form. And right now I'm in which domain? I'm in MSP technician. So let me configure this particular form of incident. Okay, so now let's go to configure form layout. I'm removing the description from the form layout. Okay, now click on save. You see the message. A new form section has been inserted to override this for this domain. Okay, it means it is saying that for this particular domain, they have created one new section, and that section is different from the global one, which was available for all the domains, or you can say for global domain. Okay, so now you see description is not available here. So now if I go back to some other domain, let's say, let me move back to global. Let me reload the same incident. I'm able to see the description here, right? Because right now I'm in global domain, and in global domain, there are no changes in the form layout. One more interesting thing I will show you. Let me open the incident form top 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢. So this incident I'm able to see because this incident belongs to 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢 domain, right? So now let me move to 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢 domain. This is 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢 domain, and this is our same data, same incident, right? Top 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢. This data belongs to 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢 domain, right? If I reload it here, I will be able to see it properly, right? And let me reload this one also. So you see here in 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐢 domain, I'm able to see this data, but again with the same global settings, because the changes which I have made is only for technician domain. So any other domain will be excluded from any kind of changes. Only MSP technician or its child will be able to see that. So now again, don't get confused. Very interesting thing is going on. This data belongs to 𝐇𝐢𝐴 domain. Let me make changes in this. Okay. Let me remove description from here again for 𝐇𝐢𝐴 domain. So let's go to from layout. So let's not do it for description. Let me do it for urgency. Okay, so that you will not get confused. So I have removed urgency from ACME domain. Okay, so now let me go back to global domain. Let me open first of all this one which I have changed. So this is the same here. You see again in global domain also I am not able to see the urgency. Why? Because this data belongs to ACME domain, and in ACME domain only we have removed the urgency from this form. Okay, now let me reload this. Here I am able to see the urgency field because this data does not belong to ACME domain. This data belongs to some other domain. That's why no changes are here. So why I'm concentrating more here? Because I am trying to explain that until unless you make changes in the domain, the same global thing is available to you. As soon as you make changes in the child, these changes will be visible to the user even you are in global domain also. It means even you are in parent domain also. The same concept is there for all other things also, right? As soon as you make changes in the child, the parent rules or parent IRE rules, all these things will be overridden by the child settings, child configurations. So the same is seeing here. Right now I am in global domain, but still I am seeing this form as I was seeing it in ACME domain. So a bit complex, but repeat this video. I have explained it very beautifully. Okay, you will understand it properly. Like this, the same concept goes for script also. Anything which is under global domain, anything which is under domain separation, you will be able to see that. So I hope you understand it properly. Just revise it. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. As well as if there is any mistake here, you can just point out to me. I will improve it. I will correct it immediately because I am also a learner like you. Okay, I am learning things and sharing the things with you. And don't forget to see these courses, right? First two videos are available. You can check the quality of the courses both in Hindi and English in the first two videos and decide to buy these courses. I hope it will help you a lot. Till then, thank you so much. Bye bye.